Hello, good morning. Good morning. Sunday morning. Ah, beautiful day here in Sarasota. Beautiful. The humidity are starting to go away. So, you know, now for the first time since March, even when it's sunny and 80 degrees, when you go outside, it's nice and pleasant. Okay. Living here now in Sarasota since 2004, 2005. I'm getting old. It's been 12 years. Um, I learned to accept the humidity to be unbearable and unpleasant. Mostly unpleasant. I wouldn't say unbearable. It's unpleasant from mid March to mid September. That's just the way the weather is. Okay, you can't. Nothing's gonna change. I'm used to it. But from this point on through early March, it is fantastic. Great weather. Maybe I will do some video for this channel to showcase how beautiful Sarasota is. I have some friends that have never been to Sarasota that heard a lot about the beaches and the beautiful weather here, and they want me to make some video. So maybe starting next week, I might squeeze in a few videos showcasing this beautiful little town that I live in. But yes, it is Sunday. Football season started, and today my team, the Steelers, is playing the Eagles. So good luck to half man, half amazing Caesar. That's Caesar's favorite team. I'm not sure um, what other people's favorite team is in this community. I know half man, half amazing is the Eagle. I know Phil, Captain Cummings, his favorite team is Kansas City. Um, I'm not sure if Dr. Von Schiller has a favorite football team. He and I have never talked about football in all the years. We have talked to each other now, communicated for over 3 years. Liking the covers. What's your favorite football team, or do you care? Um, Not everybody I know care about football. I care less about football now than ever. I still enjoy following the Steelers, but as I get older and older, I certainly care less about sport. There's more important things in life, and football take a backseat, especially at this early stage of the season. Sure, am I glad that the Steelers is 2-0? Yes, a hell lot better than 0-2. But as we all know, for those that understand football and follow the sport, it's about how healthy you can be. Okay, how healthy you can be, and if you can get hot for the playoff. Look at what the Steelers did last year. They were hot, red hot, and then they lost three of their stars. They lost Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and the backup running back. What was his name? See, I don't remember. But having those three missing pieces in the playoff versus Denver doomed them. In my opinion, yes, it's all hindsight and hope and wish. If the Steelers had all the pieces for the playoff in Denver last year, I think they had a good chance of winning, a better chance of winning and go to the Super Bowl. But so for me, football, the first 3 weeks, what I care more is injuries. I don't want to see injuries to the star players, okay? Because that can ruin a season, okay? Unless you are the New England Patriots. If you are the New England Patriots, you can play with your third string quarterback and win by 27 points. Who cares? Because all the other team are too damn scared playing you. Everyone play down when they play the Patriots. Yes, my entire family in Boston are huge Patriots fans. I can't even sit and watch a football game with them. I can't. I would go. I would have to wear earmuff to drown out the nonsense. But as a football fan, you have to give kudos to Bill Belichick and the entire coaching staff because, face it, they coach well. My son and I like the Packers. Good for you. Like I said, I don't really have a hate um, for any team. In all honesty, I am often more annoyed with unreasonable fanboy. Okay, when it comes down to football or any sport, I don't really hate any team. I hate overzealous fanboy that went nuts or crazy over things and would scream and shout and get completely out of control because their team did something. Or same go with comic books. Okay, I really don't care what people like to read, what's their favorite superheroes, or it doesn't matter. It's a personal preference. You can enjoy whichever way you like. But when it comes down to fanboy in comic books, I absolutely cannot deal with fanboys that go bonkers, crazy, burning books or whatever whenever they get upset with Marvel or DC or the writers or the authors and all that stuff. It's a comic book. Okay? That first, it's a comic book. It's a comic characters. Second, you as a reader, as a collector, don't have ownership to any of these things, any of these characters. So Marvel and DC, the writers, the authors, they can do whatever they want. They own it. They can do whatever they want. Whenever I hear fanboy, they are ruining my. Stop right there. My what? You don't own anything. It's not my. It's not yours. They're ruining my. Stop right there. Okay, that's how I like to approach any crazy fanboy that utter the phrase. They are ruining my. Your memories of the character is intact. They're not ruining your memories. Okay, they own the characters. They can do whatever they wish with the character, whether it's in comic books or the big screen or on TV. As much as I might not like what Marvel and DC are doing on the big screen or small screen or in books, it's their prerogative. I, as a consumer, have the option to not buy it. Okay, that's about the best advice I can give people. You have the option as a consumer to not buy it. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't watch the TV show. Don't watch the movie. Don't buy the variant. You don't have to do anything of this. They can do whatever they want. They own this stuff. Ron Chang, hello Ron. I just went to a comic convention. I tried to buy, but it's like dealers look at eBay and mark up $200 to a point where I cannot buy. Yes, Ron. I share your pain. This is one reason why I don't go to conventions anymore. I have not been to a convention in about 6 years. It has been almost 6 years since I attended the convention because the convention scene has changed significantly in the past 10 years. Okay. For those that are in this hobby long enough and have been to the conventions in the 80s and the 90s, it is extremely different from what a convention scene is today. in the 80s and even the 90s. Cosplay, very minor part. Games, toys, figures, extreme minor part. It's just comic books and some original arts. That's what conventions were back in the 80s. And it was not crowded. Even in big cities. When I was living in Boston in the late 80s, early 90s, I can go to a convention on a monthly basis in a hotel downtown Boston and walk in, no lines to check in. And I can walk in, I can literally browse through any long box I want without having to fight through 5 people with big backpack. All that has changed. Also, the internet, eBay, all of that. Hello, Jay. Haven't seen you around a while. Welcome to the chat. Busy life, my friend. It's okay. If you haven't seen my show in the last 6 months, you haven't missed much. I appreciate everyone that tune in and listen to me yap. But at the end of the day, as I have told people that feel bad that they miss my show here and there, you don't miss anything. There's not much I spoke in these live chats that equate to a whole lot of important things in life. Okay, it's just fun jib jab. Ron Cheng asks, which are you most aligned with your grading style? I would say I'm probably closest to CGC just because they've been around the longest, and I have taught myself on how they grade in order to slap my books with them. I slap certainly more books with CGC than CBCS. I have never sent a book to PGX. So, and I will never do it. I will go into another video on Slap Talk talking about why I don't slap book with PGX one of these days. And it wouldn't be a surprise to most people if when I make that video on why I don't submit my book to PGX. It's not about my feeling toward PGX. It's more about the market perception of PGX, if you understand the situation with PGX. Dave Enrique Chang, do you remember creation conventions? Is creation conventions only limited to certain cities? Tell me if I'm wrong, because I have heard of it, but I don't think I have attended any creation conventions. I believe those was in like Philly and New York for the most part, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Nerd Vision, hello. Thanks for stopping by and say hello. J-Rock asks, were Marvel collecting card and sport card a big part of convention back in the day? They were at the conventions, those Marvel card, the one that had Jim Lee drawing back in the 90s, but they were not a big part. Back in the 90s, when I attended convention, it is, well, first, there was no slab yet. Okay, slabbing didn't come into pictures until late 1999. Okay, so for the most of the 90s, the wall is just wall books. Okay, they're not no slabs, a lot of long boxes, definitely no toys. Okay, I can't remember seeing an action figures at a convention. If there were some, there weren't many. And as far as cards, yes, I think most dealer would have a couple folder like those baseball card kind of folder where you can flip through and see all the cards. I've seen those, but I never collected them. The only time that I bought any comic card was when the Batman movie came out. Part of me wanted to collect those cards, and I bought a couple packs, and then after a while I kind of gave up on trying to buy and collected all the Batman cards, but that's the only time. Ron Chang, I made a video. Funny you ask. Question on the Green Label. I'm not a big fan of Green Label. Is Green Label worth more than Purple Label? I have no idea. I have no idea, in all honesty. Um, but I made a video which I will load next week about Green Label. Okay, so if you are interested in my opinion on Green Label, tune into another episode of Slap Talk, episode 6, I believe, which I shot it just 2 days ago. I will load it next week, and I will do more. I will do more discussion on Green Label. For those that are not familiar with them, is the qualified grade. Qualified. It's a horrendous. I hate that label more than anything. Okay, for example, if you have a book that is the cover is detached at one of the staple, the Green Label would give you a grade under the assumption that what if the book was not detached? It is a silly, absolutely stupid premise. No, the cover is detached. Why in the world would anyone buy a book as if the cover is not detached with some kind of qualified grade? It's just stupid. It's beyond stupid. It's a concocted CCC methodology that the market bought into years ago and continue to buy into the nonsense. And I absolutely detest Green Label. You can have a book. Let's say you have a book and the coupon, the Marvel stamp is cut out of the book. Okay. Automatically that book can be low grade, in a blue label. Okay. It could be a 2.0 in a blue label because the coupon is cut out and the story is not affected. But the book can be sitting in a Green Label, a qualified grade of us 8.0 because as if the coupon is still there. No, it's cut out. This whole what if, as if kind of grading is just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And I will never change my view on the Green Label. Never. The green worth more, according to Dragon Dew, possibly. And it's come down. And this is why the Green Label exists, because so many collectors are so obsessed, as I said, with the numbers on the top left of a label. You can have a blue label that is a 2.0, but you can have an 8.0 in a Green Label, and people are just like, I'm willing to pay more. I'm willing to pay more because the number 8.0. No. Okay, it's just no. If your penis is 4 inches, it doesn't matter. It's 4 inch no matter what. Okay, as if what? As if you zoom in and it's going to be bigger. Oh, come on, stop the fucking stupid. Okay, yeah, I said it. It's so fucking stupid. Big Bear. I missed your grading contest. You did play a few. I thought you did play at least 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe you didn't play the last round, but I thought you did. Any plan for another contest? I have been so busy. Okay, I was extremely busy. Even when I run that last grading contest 3 months ago, crazy. It was so hectic. Trust me, it's fun. I like doing it. People had a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. When I ran it, in many ways, I wish I didn't because I was so busy. But I was able to squeeze it in. And unfortunately, I am running into busy season. The fall between October and February, usually my busiest 5 months of the year for my business. I have had my business now for over 20 years. So unless things change, unless there's a anomaly when my business is slow in the next 5 months, I just don't really want to take a jab at a grading contest or a trivia contest. I was thinking about running a trivia game, something that I did last year and had a lot of fun. A lot of people has expressed interest in playing the trivia game. Hello, Jorge. Welcome. A lot of people has expressed in wanting to play another trivial contest with me. I want to do that. The trivial contest, even though so few people participated last year, was a lot of fun, extremely fun thing to do. So I do plan to have another grading contest, and I do plan to have another trivia contest when it has to be on my view on my schedule. Okay. If I smell that things are not going to be so busy around Christmas, I might have one of those two or both. So it's all depend on how things unfold between now and Thanksgiving. If I smell December is going to be not crazy and I'm not going anywhere in December, there's no trip plan, no vacation, whatsoever, I might do both contests in December and January. Okay, so keep your eyes out for grading contests as well as trivial games sometime at the end of this year. Ron Chang asks, a restoration usually occurs on the front cover and not the inside page. Well, for sure, the majority of the restoration are done on the covers, okay, especially the front covers, because the back covers for many books, well, part of it too, because most back covers have a white back cover, so there is not a whole lot of restoration needed compared to the front cover with a lot of colors, a lot of color breaks as far as creases and stuff. But the inside, the most common restoration that are done inside the book are usually at the centerfold where the centerfold can be detached. So a lot of people would, a lot of restorer would trying to fix so that the centerfold or the interior page reattached to the staple. So that's the only time where you see work's done on the interior for the most part. If a page has a tear in it, I don't think it's worth going through the effort to restore a tear of the interior page compared to a tear on the front covers or back covers. Carl on Bass, hello, welcome to the Sunday chat. Any new speculation, Dragon Do? I don't. Like I said, I'm pretty much out of the speculation game. Occasionally I can name a book that I thought could get hot, but I don't really have anything. And now, if the rumor is true, that Fox is doing something with Marvel, I have heard this rumor now for the last 2 weeks that Marvel and Fox is working on bringing Fantastic Four back to the Marvel fold. If that is true, that's a big if. I have no idea if it is true or not, but if it is true, be prepared for the onslaught of all the characters that cannot be used in the MCU until that point. You talk about all the villains from Doctor Doom to Galactus to Silver Surfer is going to be. But the thing is, a lot of the Fantastic Four villains or characters that are tied into the Fantastic Four movie universe, they're all already big books. They're not low hanging fruit. There are not a whole lot of low hanging fruits when it comes down to speculation book and the Fantastic Four. So that's kind of ruined for a lot of people. As far as Netflix and all the shows, all the people that are speculating on Cottonmouth, let me repeat, okay, Cottonmouth is going to be a lot like many villains. As great as Netflix is with their show, do you remember what happened to Purple Man? One season, and then he's dead and gone, and nobody give a damn about Purple Man anymore. So for those that are playing the hot potato game with the Cottonmouth, be prepared that he could be gone at the end of season 1 of Luke Cage, and then no one give a damn about that book. So it's a dangerous game. I try not to play in the speculation game. I'd rather buy big books for investment reason. If that was the reason why I want to make money in comic books, than trying to flip speculation hot books. But that's just me. Some people are very good. There are people in this community that are extremely good at finding hot books, speculation books for cheap. If you can buy, if you have a honey hole where you can get all these hot books for $1 for cheap, and then flip them for $30, $50 on eBay, yes, thumbs up for you. But for those that don't have access to these hot books, that don't have Clueless LCS store nearby, that had no idea what's going on with the speculation market, you're kind of out of the game. Like me, I don't have a store nearby that I can go and browse through the bargain bins and find hot books. There's no such thing in Sarasota. Yes, Jorge, I hope the rumor is true. And really, for Fox, there is absolutely no reason to hold on to the Fantastic Four. They had 3 failures, 3 tries at the Apple, and it didn't work. If I was Fox, and if I can figure out a way to make money on selling the right back to Marvel, or getting some money, even if it is like 50 million or whatever Marvel is willing to give cheap to have the right to Galactus and Doctor Doom and Silver Surfer, it will cost a little bit, but Fox shouldn't be greedy. Okay, heck, if Marvel offer them some 7 figures, take it, sell it. Who cares? Not that Fox is doing so wonderful with the mutant universe. For those that follow my channel, yes, I am sick and tired of the mutant movies. I had enough. I don't care how great those movies are. I had enough of seeing Magneto and the X-Men on the big screen. Enough. Jorge, your question is, I'm curious to see if Todd McFarlane can pull off writing and directing a successful movie as far as Spawn. I am doubtful. Okay, I am extremely doubtful that Todd McFarlane can pull it off. Not that I'm rooting for him to fail. It's just that I just don't think he has the right skill sets to succeed at directing and writing a movie. It's a it's a different skill set. I can't say enough that I have watched Spawn movies. I have watched Spawn cartoons. And there's something about Spawn that I'm just not into. I like Spawn enough, but there's something about Spawn that I find boring. As a character, and in all the movies, in all the cartoon, it just doesn't work for me. Mainly his villains. Oh my God, the cast of villains that Spawn have had over the many years, it's just never exciting to me, and that has been my biggest complaint with Spawn, the comic books. At least for me, okay. I understand there's a lot of huge Spawn fans out there that's gonna get all tizzy, get the panties all bunched up because Nick does not care for Spawn villain. Well, guess what? Outside of the hardcore Spawn readers and collectors out there, and you ask the average collectors if they can name 5 Spawn villains, do you think the average collectors out there can name 5 Spawn villains? The answer is no. If you ask the average person the average collector to name 5 Fantastic Four villain, I'm pretty sure they can. X-Men, I'm sure they can. Spider-Man, yes. Spawn, how about even 2? That's the problem with Spawn. Okay, great movies need to have at least decent villains, not the clowns that they have for Spawns. Redbeard, let's see, you have some discussion here. What do you think about pressing a Golden Age book before having them graded? I have Dale Evans, number 2, 1948. First, is Dale Evans number 2 highly sought after books? I could be wrong, but Dale Evans is a Western, right? A Golden Age Western, and I'm not sure if there is a strong demand for Dale Evans number 2 in the mid grade. With Golden Age books, even for obscure title, high grades are always sought after. There are deep pockets collector out there that will want high grade books, but when it comes down to mid grade, I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I'm not saying don't go slap Dale Evans number 2. I'm just saying that the decision to press or to slap that book has to come from whether there is a demand that's worth doing that. Because if you're gonna spend, let's say, you can get the book pressed for $20, and it will cost you another $30 to $50 to slap it, shipping. You are talking about at least $70 out of your pocket to have it pressed and clean and slap, right? Can that book fetch $300? I don't know. But for those that know the market for Dale Evans, help out Redbeard, because to me, if you can get $200-300 or more, then pressing and cleaning and slabbing might be worth it. For me, if it's not worth even $200, I don't think I want to spend $70 doing the work. Okay, but that's just me. I would rather sell it raw for $100 and be done. Yes, Jorge, Frank Miller had a crack at it, and it was not all that good. And even when Frank Miller was doing RoboCops, it was not all that either. A good comic books, a good storyteller in comic books does not mean that you can do a good storytell in the movies. Because like it or not, a comic book is very short. A story, this kind of segue into the problem with the Killing Jokes. I have heard a lot of debates and discussion on the Killing Jokes and how it didn't work. And I think the biggest mistake of the Killing Jokes is that it trying to make a 90 minutes cartoon. It's just too hard to translate a 10-minute read into a 90-minute into a 90-minute story. You had to add a lot of fluff to do it, and they couldn't do it. From what I heard, I haven't seen the movie, the cartoon. It didn't work for most people. The fluff that they add in to make it longer didn't work. It would have been better off to just focus on the Killing Joke and make it a 45 minutes cartoon. Perhaps, okay, perhaps it would have been a better thing to do than trying to extend it to charge more money, all that stuff. It will come down to monetary reason. Is people gonna pay $20 for this Blu-ray cartoon or whatever if it's only 45 minutes, or do they expect a 90-minute epic story? Well, you can't squeeze out of that short 10-minute read comic book. That's the problem. Ron Chang said, why are key Silver Age, so Golden Age in poor condition gone up to go up through the roof in prices? Low grade Silver Age keys and even Golden Age keys are so expensive is because as expensive as they are, more people are fighting more. For example, Amazing Fantasy 15. Okay, a 2.0 can go for $8,000. Okay, more people can swallow the pain of $8,000 to $10,000 and fight over a 2.0 or 2.5 Amazing Fantasy 15 than go for a 50,000 6.5 copy. Okay, so the dollar per point is significantly bigger for low grade books because there's just more people fighting over it. An Amazing Fantasy 8.0 that can cost six figures, it can cost $100,000. Well, it's not going to be 50 people or 100 people fighting for that book. Okay, it's going to be a handful of people that's going to be fighting for that book. I'm sure if you see an 8.0 Amazing Fantasy copy out there, you are not going to see more than 5 people fighting for that book. It's just it's not the average collectors out there that can fork out 6 figures to own a comic book. But when you're talking about a 2.0 copy that might go for $8,000 to $10,000, there could be dozens and dozens of people with that kind of money and willing to spend $8,000 or $10,000 on a comic books. There's a lot more of those kind of collectors than people that fork out 6 figures for comic books. Redbeard say yes, Daryl Evan is a Western. Yep, that's what I thought. It would be the 3rd highest grade in the census. Like I said, when it comes down to books that are not in high demand, you better have the highest grade. Okay, 3rd highest doesn't mean much. That's just my opinion. Okay, Redbeard, I could be completely wrong, but when it comes down to it, if you look at even superhero titles, look at say Captain Marvel Jr., pretty much not highly sought after Golden Age superhero books. If you look at the 2nd, 3rd, mid-grade tiers for those books, nobody cares. Okay, it's like I said, my hunch is that unless it is top grade of a book, it's gonna be tough to find buyers for that book that say, oh, it's a 3rd best. When it comes down to comic books, rarity means very little. Rarity has to be taken into account with demand. I have had this discussion with a lot of collectors over the years that I don't care if something is 1 of a kind, 5 of a kind, 10 of a kind. If nobody wants it, being 1 of a kind means nothing. Okay, so ultimately, just look at, say, New Mutant 98. There are 500,000 copies out there, and it sells for $1,000 in 800 or whatever it is in 9.8. That's insane. There are 500,000 copies, but guess what? The demand is high, just like Hulk 181. Hulk 181 is not rare, but the demand outstripped the supplies. Okay, same thing with many books. But when it comes down to titles that nobody give a damn, it's tough. It's tough. That's why I'm not a proponent of wasting your money to slap that book. I don't care if it's going to be the second or third or whatever, unless it's number one. Don't do it. That's just me. I have a few Golden Age Western that one reason why there are not that many Dale Evans books in the census is that not there's not that many demand. There's plenty of those books laying around, and people just not slamming them because slab collectors, high grade Golden Age collectors, don't really care about Dale Evans. Is anybody's stream dropping in and out? I don't know. Hopefully mine is not dropping in and out. I don't know. I find that YouTube live streaming has a lot to improve. I wish the quality of but that's had to do also with the service provider. Me with Comcast is part of the problem. I'm telling you, there's so much more to be improved when it comes down to high speed and broadband and live streaming. So as much as technology has advanced, we are far from having high quality streaming. Not yet. Classic Iconic Point. I'm kicking myself for not buying Teenage Mutant Ninja #1 in second or third print. The demand for Teenage Mutant Ninja is not going down. I'm not sure what the value is for those books. I do have a couple copies of Teenage Mutant Ninja #1, third print. Okay, I'm not sure if they worth a lot of money, but the reason why they worth decent money is the supplies and demand. Once again, there are only 3,000 or so first print. So, even second print and third print is not a whole heck of a lot. If you add together Teenage Mutant Ninja #1, first print, second print, and third print, I think the total is still less than 20,000 copies, which is insane. Okay. On the grand scheme of things, that's low. That's really low. Okay. It's 20,000 copies, I think, is even less than Batman Adventures 12. Correct me if I'm wrong, for those that know the print run for Batman Adventure 12, the first Harlequin. I believe that if you add the first, second, and third print of Teenage Mutant Ninja #1, it's still less than the number of copy of Batman Adventure #12 out there. Okay, so I can see why. And even then, I don't think the third print for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is worth a lot. I mean, it might worth a couple $100 in high grade, but I don't think it's in the thousands. Okay, I don't think I don't stay in touch with the market for that book, so I'm not sure. But I can't recall ever see a third print of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle #1 going for 4 figures. I have never seen it. So for those that have GP analysis, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Nick, what do you think about Aspen Collectible? Um, do I think it's overrated? I like Michael Turner, but I think, um, I don't think he's. There is something about the current market with Michael Turner, with Scotty. Um, there's 3 or 4 cover artists right now that is uber hot. Okay, from, of course, uh, Adam Hugh. There's a couple that people go goo gaga over, and I like them, but I don't think they are so awesome. They are nice. Adam Hugh can draw sexy, beautiful women, but after you see his work, all the girls, all the women look the same. you know, uh, Same thing with all the other hot guys. So I don't see, like I said, I'm not in the current market buying variant covers and chasing hot covers from these hot artists. So I I can't say that I think so. If I had to put myself in a category, I would say that I think they are overrated because I'm not buying any of this stuff. I enjoy looking at them, but I'm not buying any of this stuff because it's not compelling enough for me to spend my money. Hopefully that's the answer. So as far as Aspen, eh, I don't see a reason for me to buy any of that stuff. If that answers your question, yeah, it's nice, but eh. you know, uh, do I appreciate good covers? Absolutely. But as a comic book fan, I absolutely appreciate and enjoy the art inside. For those that follow my channel, you know how much I love talking about the interior arts. So I put a lot of emphasis on the inside of the book. So I'm not a cover chaser. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that buy books for the covers. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way a lot of people collect. Even Dr. Von Schiller will be the first to tell you that he chased covers. He buy books for the covers. Even in the 70s and 80s, he also read the books on the interior. So he would talk about how much he loved the story of the Watchmen, or Alan Moore with Swamp Thing. He's both. I'm more of the interior guy, even from my younger days. I have always buy books that I want to read the inside. I have never buy a book just because of the cover. Never, ever, ever. Um, sure, the cover got my attention, no doubt. Seeing, say, the cover for Iron Man 150 the first time I was in the store, ready to buy a book, my first book, that draw my attention. Okay, seeing Doctor Doom and Iron Man, heck yeah. But open the first few pages and see the beautiful art by John Romita Jr. and Bob Layton. That was what cement the deal for me. Seeing the interior works, the beautiful art inside, cement the deal. I just didn't see, the cover for Iron Man 150 and said, "That's it. That's the book that I'm gonna buy." It was more to it. The only one, John. Hey, hello, hello. Milk with a Mouth is here too. My goodness. I think it is about 15K. Really? 15K. Oh, 15,000 for all. Yeah, I was close. I thought it was like under 20,000. I thought, the first print was around 3,000. The second print was around 5,000, and the third print was maybe 10,000. So somewhere in my head, I thought altogether there was like 18,000 print. So is that a lot less than Batman Adventures number 12? I think it is. It's more than Walking Dead number 1. I think Walking Dead number 1 only have like 5,000 issues. Like I said, I don't know. I don't follow how rare these things are. Yes, Dr. Von Schiller is here. There is another John. Redbeard, Nick asked me a question. What are your thoughts on getting books signed by actors? Um, I, you know, I personally don't really care. I don't think it's anything wrong with people getting those signatures, just as people getting signatures from editors. I've seen people getting books signed by editors, writers, inkers, pencilers. I have yet to see any letterers or colorists being asked to sign any books. If there has been, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. To me, I'm not a signature chaser or signature collectors. So if I meet somebody famous, it would mean more for me to have a picture taken with them than to have the signatures. But that's just me. Okay. If you ask me what is more important to me, I would rather pay big money for me to stand next to Stan Lee and take a picture with my arms around him or something like that. I would cherish that more than having a closet full of Stan Lee's signature. Okay, but that's just me. So when it comes down to famous people, if I bump into a famous actor or something, I would rather have a picture, a selfie even, with me and the actor. That would mean a whole heck of a lot more to me than a signature of that actor, because I have no desire to make money off the signatures selling that later. Okay, so but that's just me. It's a personal preference. Do I have Stanley's signature? Yes, I do. I have two of them, and that's good enough. I don't need to have a class. There's a lot of people out there that collect of a room full of Stanley yellow label stuff, and if that's what makes them happy, so be it. Okay, at the end of the day, I can't stress enough that we collect comic books, but as far as how we enjoy the hobby, it's a million ways that people can enjoy the hobby, and there's no right or wrong. Okay, I can't stress this enough that one of the things that I hate the most about social media, about YouTube, about uh, Twitter, about Snapchat or Facebook, the problem with this hobby, the problem with society in general, is the internet is the best place to showcase how intolerant we are with others. We just, for most people, for a lot of people, sadly, um, for most people, being able to accept other people's differences is not easy. We are so intolerant of other people different tastes. It's sad. That's one thing that I dislike about the internet, is that everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people are so quick to judge somebody because they have a different taste, and it's just so wrong to me. I can't stress enough about how much I hate it when people judge other people's tastes or preferences. It shouldn't be. It's nothing wrong with having different tastes. It's nothing wrong with enjoying things the way you like it, and that's okay as long as you respect other people's differences. There are people that expect other people to treat them with respect, but then they show no respect for other people. Those are the hypocrites I hate. Mark, thank you for clarifying that Walking Dead #1 have 7,266 print. So yes, when it comes down back to that same question, it comes down to rarity and the question on rarity and value has to take into account demand. Okay, you have to have demand on the other side of the equation to make something worth something. So I don't care if something is rare. There are collectors out there that like to buy art, rare things. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, there are people out there that actively only collect arts or rare things. Nothing wrong with that. The only thing that I talk about with those collectors whenever I discuss with them is that that's nice that you found you have something that is odd and rare. Great, nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, please don't talk values on those things unless you know what the demands are, because you might have one of a kind, but if nobody give a damn, it's worthless to the rest of the world. It's worth something to you, which is great. Enjoy it, but let's not try to attach a value to that rarity, because if nobody else care, it's worth nothing for the rest of the world. Redbeard, I agree. It's nothing wrong with asking the question. I'm not offended one bit or annoyed when people ask me for my preference or taste. Ultimately, that's what this channel is about. This channel, my YouTube channel, is about me showing people what my preferences and opinions are. It's just mine. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's just mine. You know, I try not to repeat and use a term in my opinion whenever I talk about something, because it should take into caveat into the lexicon of people thinking that when people talk about things on the internet, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, it should be underlined that what they do or say is their opinions only. It's not anybody trying to preach into the world that this is the right way to do anything. Trilogy, my goodness, I have not run. This is my first Sunday chat in 3 weeks. I did not have one last week because last Sunday I was in Boston visiting my dad. And the Sunday before that, I had the wisdom tooth issue. So this is the first live chat I had in 3 Sunday. John Nello is here, and he said that I only collect 12-cent Silver Age book. Is that weird? Is that emoji on your comment say? No, it's not weird. It's okay. I collect everything. I have friends that only collect Golden Age for the most part. And that's okay. I have people that only collect modern books. That's okay. The only time where I correct someone that collect modern books only is when they say, oh, I don't collect Golden Age or Silver Age because it's expensive. That's when I give that look. Because if you understand the hobby and study the hobby, you will know that a lot of Silver Age and Golden Age books are pretty cheap. Okay? You can buy, if you enjoy comic books, Silver Age, and you don't care about grades, you don't care about high grade, you can buy Silver Age superheroes in low grades for $10 or less all day long on eBay. It's not expensive. When I see modern collector that drop $50 or $100 a week on modern books that tell me that collecting Silver Age is too expensive, I have to correct them. I said, depend on what you are looking for. If you say that Silver Age in general are too expensive, I disagree, because you can buy low grade. And by low grades, I'm talking about readers that are 3.0, very good, not like falling apart. It's still decent, still complete. You don't have to have high grade 8.5 or higher books. There's a lot of titles that nobody give a damn. Okay, there's a lot of titles, Silver Age books, that are going for cheap because a lot of people just focus on key books. Trilogy, yes, you are a night worker. Key issues. Holy crap, you chat with those guys after the live shows. I'm not sure if you're talking to me. Chaz is here. Hello, Chaz. Yes, absolutely. You can buy low numbers Fantastic Four under 48 all day long for like $10, like a 3.0 copy on eBay. Even like Avengers. And I mentioned this in other video before. Sure, um, Spider-Man is no doubt one of the most expensive Silver Age titles because there are just too many awesome stuff in Spider-Man in the Silver Age to get cheap. But my God, when it comes down to Fantastic Four, um, outside of the big keys, cheap stuff. Even X-Men, if you don't go for the keys, there's many cheap X-Men book between number 20 and 60s, low grade stuff, cheap. Daredevil, dirt cheap. Daredevil Silver Age stuff is dirt cheap. Strange Tales, Tale of Suspense, Tales to Astonish, Captain America, low grade, Silver Age, dirt cheap. Thor, same thing, dirt cheap. So, like I said, the biggest misconception of newer collector is that, oh, I can't buy Silver Age, it's too expensive. Well, if you equate the entire market of the Silver Age as Amazing Fantasy 15 or some Silver Age keys, yes, it's expensive. But if you look beneath the surface into the average day books, it's affordable and fun to buy and read. Fun. Trilogy asks, what do I think about NYX-23? And interesting, I don't have the book. I don't speculate on that, but I think if there is a sleeper, a book that can explode still, is that book. It all has to do, it's a big gamble on what Fox is going to do with Wolverine. I don't know. I don't know if the movie audience is ready to replace Wolverine with a female clone. I don't know. I'm not, trust me, I don't advocate people go out there and buy that book and hope to get rich if that character is going to be the successor to Wolverine. I don't know. But if there is a book that can jump, that can double um, or more, it would be that, because it's not a cheap book, but it can run if that character can catch on and be big on the big screen. I don't know. I have zero idea if that character will be big on the big screen. I am in the camp that I don't think you can get rid of Wolverine on the big screen because he is such a well-loved character that I don't think you can get rid of him. It will be tough to replace Hugh Jackman. Okay, extremely tough to find another actor that can step in his shoes. After all, he has played Wolverine in like 10 movies or something like that, something crazy, a huge number. So replacing him will be extremely difficult. I can see Fox taking a chance at X-23 to see if that works. Okay, I can see that. Now, whether that works and whether the general audience catch on and follow her and make her big, that's a big question. I can see Fox taking a chance on replacing Hugh Jackman with launching of the X-23 character, but at the same time, I can see Fox saying it ain't working. It's not big. It's not going to be huge. This is not going to be Deadpool. This is not going to be big. We are going to scrap this and then reboot the X-Men franchise and introduce a new Wolverine, a new Logan, say in 5 years. I can see that. I can see them doing this with X-23 and give her one shot or maybe two shot. And if she's not big, if she's not popular, they're going to kill her off or reboot the franchise and reintroduce the entire X-Men, because they're not going to give her more than two chances. if she flopped the first time, it's gone. So it's a dangerous book for people. If you own it, good for you. But it's a book that can double, triple if she's a successful character in a big movie. And it's a book that can crash and become forgotten if she's introduced on the big screen and nobody give a shit. Okay, so that's my 2 cents on X-23. Hopefully that answers your question, Trilogy. Monk's Den is here. Hello, Monk's Den. I just look at the time. It's 11:56. So in the next 5 minutes, it will be the end of this lively live chat. It has been fun. I'm happy to be back on Sunday. In about 5 minutes, it's time to enjoy the pre-game football. Yeah, pre-game football. Oh yeah. Key issues, thing that the character can think of, just need a sexy heart. It's hard to say. Just look at Olivia Munn. Okay, I am in the camp that Olivia Munn is beautiful but not crazy. I mean, for some reason, people go goo goo gaga over Olivia Munn. In all honesty, what turned me off about Olivia Munn is the way she talks about her family. If you've seen her on many interviews, she has no problem trashing her mom, making fun of her mom, talking how yes, she didn't like her Asian upbringing and she has a typical crazy Asian mother, but enough already with trashing your mother on TV every time you talk about your mother. But as sexy as she was as Psylocke, no one gave a shit. Okay, so it takes a whole lot more than a sexy, hot female to put on a costume to be successful. It takes writers, directors, and an actress that can carry it off. So I disagree with key issues as far as how X-23 can be successful. It takes a lot more because I don't think anybody gave a shit about Psylocke and how sexy she was in that purple costume. Yeah, like I said, I'm okay with Olivia Munn as an actress. I have seen other shows that she's on. She's okay, but her personality, even when she was on G4, I find her to be annoying than shit. Yeah, so yes, when it comes down to Olivia Munn, I have nothing, and it has nothing to do with her dating Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay. I don't hate Aaron Rodgers. I respect him. I think he's a great talent. But my God, holy shit, he can find a better person, in my opinion. Yes, look is one thing. Just look at when it comes down to it, is what's her name? Jennifer, the one that in the Hunger Game, the one that played Mystique. Is she hot? No, but she's a good actress. At the end of the day, people like her because she can act. People like Mystique because she can act. There's many people that thought that she phoned in the last X-Men and she no longer want to go through 4 hours of makeup. So she appeared most of the movie not as Mystique, and she phoned in her performance, and she didn't do a good job. Maybe I watched the movie and I didn't think she was a problem. I had more problem with the story and the direction of the movies and Apocalypse than Mystique. The X-Men movie, the last X-Men movie, didn't hit me at the right spot, more because of how they treated Apocalypse, not because Mystique wasn't good. That was not the reason. Jennifer Lawrence, yes. So when it comes down to it, it's not about throwing in some hot female with big boobs. That pleased about 10 high school boys. These days, okay, let me put it this way. These days, with the way the internet is and with the way you can watch porns all day long on the internet for free, You don't need hot-looking female to be successful in movies. Okay, if you want to see somebody hot, just the internet's right there, free porn all day long. You know, when it comes down to movie characters, there's a you need something more than just hot. What's my Dr. Von Schiller asked, what's my favorite cover featuring the Silver Surfer? Take the original 18th issue out of the equation. Good question, Dr. Von Schiller. I agree. It's when you include the first 18 issues, it's hard to not pick like number one. It's hard to not pick number four. It's hard to pick even the one with Mephisto, number three. Um, Silver Surfer. I like issue 55. There is something about issue 55 that I love with the Thing and the purple covers. That has always been one of my favorite. I like that one, and then I like issue 70. The 77, 78. It's the storyline with Galactus that I showcase in my What a Month uh, video. That one, but 55 is definitely uh, that purple color and the Thing and the Surfer on the cover has always been one of my favorite. Monks then asked about what I think of Ghost in the Shell non-Asian casting. I have been a big mouth complaining about Asian being miscast in Hollywood in general, but when it comes down to Ghost in the Shell, I surprisingly, from a lot of my friends that hear me say that I am okay with it, because if I have seen the anime, and the way the character was drawn, it didn't look Asian, and it's a property that is unknown by many non-hardcore anime readers. So I'm okay with that. It's to me, it's just like, I understand if Hollywood want to make the big bucks. This is one reason why I have a hard time with Hollywood and Asian characters. I understand the motive is money. Crystal clear. Okay, Scarlett Johansson, big name actress, beautiful, sexy, hot. If you're gonna spend $100 million on a budget, you want to recoup your money, and you better bring in some known name, big name. Understood. This is why I have a big problem with the Ancient One. The Ancient One is a minor character in Doctor Strange. So for Hollywood, from Disney, for Marvel to recast him with a white woman for the sake of, oh, we don't want to stereotype Asian. We don't want to offend the Asian viewers. So we're replacing him with a white woman. Horse shit. Horse shit. Okay, that's horse shit. Nonsense. Complete nonsense. But that's the same kind of thing the way I'm very critical of the Asian complaint on all these things. I also poo-poo on people that say, oh, Iron Fist, it's racist to have a white guy play Iron Fist. It's not, because he's a white guy in the comic books. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think I'm more fair-minded than most people when it comes down to Asians and the big screen. But I'm biased. It's my opinion. Yes, Dr. Von Schiller. I think it's issue 72. That beautiful cover with the Silver Surfer, the red, the black with the surfer, and then the the Punisher, the Punisher flying by. It's a beautiful cover. So yes. Anyhow, it's 12:05, folks. I am eating into my pre-game show of the NFL. So I think it's time for me to say goodbye. I appreciate everyone to stop by. Oh, Dr. Von Schiller saw his entire run of Silver Surfer. You need to get your hands back on that run. Kasekani Point. Yes, one of the thing about Japanese anime is that they draw every character with for a long time. This is just my observation of a novelist when it comes down to watching anime or reading anime. Okay, that it is fascinating. There's a style of drawing by the Japanese creator over the many decades that draw everybody with big eyes and very westernized looking. So there is this westernized. It's hard for me to describe it, but when I read and see those characters, they don't portray them as Asian. Okay, but that's just me. I'm a novelist when it comes down to anime, so I'm not trying to offend hardcore anime friend out there that's saying that you're wrong, it's racist to. Once again, it's your opinion. It's okay if you feel slighted by Hollywood to use Scarlett Johansson. I understand. I don't have a problem with that. I have had my said and rant on the Ancient One being a white woman, so it's okay. It is what it is. The world is full of different opinions. And that's where I will end this chat. And a reminder that the world is full of different opinion. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. Don't get all tizzy up because somebody else have a different opinion than yours. I don't. I try not to. That's it, folks. Time for me to watch some pre-game football. Are we ready? Are we ready? Steelers versus the Eagles. Most important for me is injury-free. Okay, nothing bummed me out more than seeing injuries to key players, more than loss or win. Because as you all know, winning is nice, but if you lose a key player, it could translate into many losses later. So I'd rather have clean bill of health for key players over a big win. Unless if it's a playoff game, sure, I want big wins. But when it comes down to regular season, this early in the season, I don't need to see big injuries. Later, guys. Enjoy your football.